quick stir fry doesn't necessarily have to have lots of ingredients. This stir fry, for example, has two main ingredients, some fillet of beef and broccoli. Now, when you're stir frying, it's super important to have a good quality wok that's going to heat up to a high temperature. So I'm going to turn my wok on now, and this one's great because it's got a thermo spot, so it's going to go solid red, which indicates the perfect temperature to start cooking. It's also going to smoke up, and that's also a key indication. Now, this stir fries for 2 people, so 200 grams of meat is plenty, particularly because we're going to add lots of broccolini. So I'm just going to open that up. Now, I like to use fillet of beef for this recipe because it's really lean, and once it's cooked, it caramelizes nicely on the outside, but super soft in the center. So I'm going to cut it super thin so it cooks quite rapidly. And you can see there's lovely streaks of fat on this piece of fillet of beef. This is fantastic also because it's going to keep it moist throughout the cooking stage. Now, if you wanted to keep this 100% vegetarian, instead of using this beef, you can replace it with some beautiful fresh shiitake, or I always keep some dried shiitake in my pantry for something like this. Mushrooms have a fantastic meaty flavour, so it is the perfect substitute. Okay, I can also prepare some garlic. I'll just finely slice it into rounds. Okay, all right, we'll put that next to the meat. And now for the sauce. I'm using tamarind paste. I love the tartness of it. It's a great addition to this. I need to add some of this puree to some water to dissolve it. So I say roughly a tablespoon. And I'll use a whisk to dissolve that in the water. Now we need some sweetness, so some good old caster sugar can go in. And we'll whisk that until it starts to dissolve. And then for some saltiness, a hint of dark soy and some fish sauce. Just a small amount of fish sauce because you don't want it to be overpowering. Perfect. All right, we'll whisk that up, and that's the sauce done. So I told you it's a very quick stir fry. So sauce and our beautiful broccolini. Now I'm going to leave the broccolini whole. They don't take long at all to cook. Even these gorgeous little leaves have so much flavour in them, so leave them as is. Just trim the base of them, all the woody ends, and they're ready to go. Okay, the thermo spot is solid red, so let's start cooking. I like to use some vegetable oil, small amount, and we'll just drizzle that all the way up the high sides. Perfect. And now we'll add our meat. Now I'm only using 200 grams of meat, so I can do this in one batch. It's also a 28 centimetre pan, so you can see the meat's not going to overlap. And now we're just going to start frying that and just allow it to start to change colour and get a slight crust. I'll get some tongs, just separate the strands of meat. And because it is so hot, you can see that it caramelizes immediately. Perfect. One last toss. And now I'll take that out and place that onto a plate, and then immediately pop the pan back on the heat so it goes back up to that high temperature. I'll add some more vegetable oil. And now we can add the garlic. And you want to cook the garlic just for 30 seconds, no more. You really want to keep an eye on it at this stage because this is the only critical point when it comes to stir frying. If you overcook that garlic, if it starts to burn, the whole dish becomes quite bitter. So you can see it once it starts to become aromatic, once it starts to go golden just on the sides, it's time for the next ingredient, which is our broccolini. And we'll toss them, and automatically it's starting to heat up. Now it's going to cook quite quickly when I add all of this delicious sauce. So in with the tamarind sauce. And then you want this sauce to reduce quite significantly so it becomes really sticky. We can return our meat and any of the juices on the plate because that's flavour. And then toss everything together. And you know this is ready when that sauce becomes super sticky. It's almost evaporated and it's just coating everything quite nicely. So a few more moments. And now to finish this off, I love a good amount of pepper. Now I'm adding quite a lot of coarse pepper, about a heaped teaspoon of pepper. And I love this because it almost emulates that classic Vietnamese dish, shaky beef. And because it is a kind of a Vietnamese style stir fry, I'm going to add some Vietnamese flat noodles just to finish it off. So a generous handful And then these are going to soak up all the delicious sauce. So a few shakes, coating that and warming those noodles through. And once they become really soft and again quite sticky from that sauce, stir fry is done. I love this combination of the broccolini, the beef and lots of pepper, and that tamarind will give it a really unique flavour. All right, we'll pop that in a very generous large bowl. There you have it. Super easy stir fry. I reckon have stir fry at least once a week. It's super fast to do, and you can always mix up the flavours. Like I touched on before, keep it simple. Just really show off a few key ingredients, just like this beef and broccoli stir fry.